Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, and the Scottish Tory leadership contest has been thrown into complete disarray. There is massive infighting. There are calls for Douglas Ross to resign with immediate effect, leave Holyrood, leave politics and just disappear. Apparently the damage he's done, both to his own reputation and to that of the party, is, they say, irreconcilable. It is immense damage. And it all stems from the fact that he no longer actually wants to be the leader of the party and said so last year, but apparently was on manoeuvres to install Russell Findlay. The irony is now that there's going to be an election. Russell Findlay is likely going to win it anyway. But we're going to go through this quickly. There's a story here. It's actually in several outlets, several papers. But we'll go through it very quickly because I think it's just fascinating to watch a party implode, and all because of one single individual who could have walked away at any time, but that's how it is. But anyway, very quickly, Douglas Ross has been urged to quit as an MSP, this is amid reports that he plotted his Holyrood exit to return to Westminster more than a year ago, and therein lies the problem. The fact is, a year ago, he wanted to give up Holyrood to go to Westminster. He's now lost his seat at Westminster and wants to obviously stay in Holyrood because ka-ching. 4 of the Scottish Conservative leadership candidates have been called for, or have called for, the contest to be paused in the wake of this disturbing claim. An SNP MP, Graham Leadbitter, told Mr Ross he should quit the Scottish Parliament since he sees the job as second best to Westminster. It's all turning very nasty, isn't it? The Telegraph reports that the Scots Tory leader met with Kathleen Robertson, who was the party's general election candidate for Moray West, Nairn and Strathspey in 2023 to ask if he could replace her. In other words, he would stand in that Westminster seat. The newspaper reports sources. Reading again. The newspaper reports sources. It's the intonation, isn't it? That allege that he told Mrs. Robertson, who's the leader of Moray Council, that his heart was in Westminster, not Holyrood. When you open your mouth and say things like that, you are, of course, opening yourself up to absolute, ridicule, but also personal attacks. And you're also highlighting the problems you're going to have. The man is an idiot. The very fact he said this proves he's not intelligent enough to be leading a party or to represent people. What a fool. What an absolute fool. Mr Ross had previously said publicly that he would not seek re-election to Westminster in order to focus on his priorities and Holyrood as the Scottish Tory leader, presumably. However, he later announced his candidacy in Aberdeenshire North and Moray East, which he then went on, fought and lost. And of course, that's that big U-turn that annoyed everyone in the first place that started his calls for resignation, which he resigned as leader, and is now leading to this current, of course, election for the replacement Tory leader in Scotland. And previously, as I said as well, just as an aside on this, I have mentioned it, a lot of them are calling for a split formally between the Conservative Party and the Scottish Conservative Party. I ridiculed it, saying, how can you call yourself the Conservative and Unionist Party if you're splitting the Union? However, given the trials and tribulations south of the border, it may not be a bad thing. But this is just ridiculing the Tories north of the border as well. So where do you go? Anyway, Mr Ross then announced that he would step aside as party leader. Announced is carrying a lot of weight, that word. Announced is his way of saying was told he had to go. He lost the seat to the SNP on July the 4th. He was the only Tory to lose his seat to the SNP. Anyway, and he now faces calls to resign from Holyrood as well, where he is a Highlands and Islands MSP, as well as currently, of course, the Scottish Tory leader, until a suitable replacement, and by suitable replacement we know who we mean. It's only one. But other than that, maybe Murdo Fraser, but really it's only Russell Findlay, isn't it? Anyway, the article also reports Mr Ross and Miss Robertson, who wanted to replace Tory himself, his own leadership with the Tory leadership candidate Russell Findlay, as we mentioned, who is one of 6 currently vying for the job. And as I say, there's him, Jamie Green, Murdo Fraser, Megan Gallagher, a couple of no-hopers. Really, the only 2 with any real chance are Russell Findlay and Murdo Fraser. Megan probably and may well end up leader, but it won't be this time. Maybe next time. Don't think she's quite there yet. I like her, but I don't think she's there. Ross told the Telegraph he sought the meeting with Miss Robertson at the request of local members to check she was still committed to standing for her seat. And she confirmed that she was, he said, and I then campaigned with her in the hope that she would win the new constituency. This is one of those newly created ones where they've shaved a bit off that one, stuck it onto something else, halved something else and put it in. The way they gerrymander these oh, better not say gerrymander. Oh no, that's moaning about the state. I might have a policeman at my door, but you know what I mean. Reshaping the candidates' options. You know. Oh, definitely, it's gerrymandering. Anyway, Leadbitter, who eventually won the Moray East, Nairn and Strathspey seat, said if Douglas Ross's heart isn't in Holyrood, he should resign. His bid to retain a seat at Westminster included a specific promise that he would resign as an MSP if he was successful. It's clear he's neither happy nor focused on his Holyrood job. Now, I think there has got to be something done. I think it's now clear that he's untenable, both as leader, which obviously he's quit, but he's also untenable now, I think, as an MSP. Because his word can't be trusted. He's gone back on it twice. I think he's now just basically carpet bagging, trying to get something somewhere because he's desperate for public money. And I think it's just the end of his career. I don't think anyone can really trust him anymore. And I don't just mean the electorate. I mean even within the Tory party now. I think his race is run, his time has come. And it's about time he packed up his bag and went off and sought pastures new. Maybe something in business or, you know, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what his skill set is. I don't know his background. But whatever it is, I'm sure he'll go off and do it and moan that he's actually got to go and earn money rather than just sit there and be handed vast amounts of public money for no reason whatsoever. Hey-ho, let me know what you think. Should he go? Should he quit? Should he fight on? Is he right? Is he wrong? Who knows? Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.